Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Tuesday, May 2nd. I can't believe we got a little spotty frost here in northeastern Oklahoma. It's going to be 90 degrees by Friday. So you know what we need to do? Let's get some seeds in the ground. Come on, let's plant. When I got busy the other day and we planted a lot, I went ahead and opened up these rows. And I hadn't put anything in it. Now this row behind me we're going to put sugarcane in. It's coming up. It's a good thing I didn't bring it out yet. It would have frosted down. It's going good. I want to make sure it gets a little warmer before we put it out. If you've been following my story, I bet you can guess what I'm going to plant here right now. That's right. Has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets? I'm going to do one row right down the center. We're going to do a nice long row. We sure do like these Detroit dark red medium tops. They shouldn't get too tall. Just make a nice little line. And I'm going to roost out these. I'm just putting them in this line and then I'm just going to pat them down. Don't need a hickory nut. All we want is good soil contact. I have treated this with castor oil a couple days ago. So hopefully that'll do the trick. Now I am going to come back and mulch on this just a little bit. Just a light little layer. Just enough to hold the moisture in and allow those to germinate. They'll come right on up through there. And in a few days we ought to have some beets coming up. There you go. And off over here in front of the peas, I'm going to go ahead and start some more lettuce. These are really small, but we sure do like this purple lettuce. I'm definitely spreading these out. Got a red salad bowl mix. And I'm going to go ahead and put that whole pack in too. So I'll do a second row. I'm just going to roost out this. We're just going to have soil contact. And this is lettuce. So we're not putting any kind of mulch on this. We're just keep it watered. And then we'll mulch back in around it just as soon as it germinates. Lettuce is one of the plants that do not like to come up through mulch. Soil contact with just a light little bit of soil on top. We're going to make sure these get good and watered. And as the wind's going to blow these leaves in here, I'm going to have to make sure I keep them uncovered until they germinate. But if it stays warm like it's supposed to, these ought to be up in just a couple days. One of the things that we did plant in December, and it did germinate, but it didn't make the cold at all. This is buckwheat. So I'm going to put some buckwheat here. I did find another bag of white onions that I hadn't gotten in yet. So we're going to plant white onions and buckwheat. Oh, and something I didn't have enough time to get going last year, dragon's tail radishes. Those are radishes you eat the seed pods. So I'm going to plant some in this row also. And then we got another special thing we're going to put in. So the onions, I'm just barely going to put those in so that the roots are touching, and we'll see if they'll bulb out. They should have been planted quite a while ago. I just scattered them out here and I'm just going to stand them up. I'm not going to put them deep at all. Just barely putting the root end in. See, that one's no good. That one's no good. Yeah, you should have been in a while ago. Now these buckwheat seeds, these are pretty big. They're calling it a cover crop, so I'm still going to plant these kind of close. Just make a little furrow. Get the onions out of my way. I'll plant those down there. Never grown buckwheat before, so I'm not even sure how tall they're going to get, but this ought to be exciting. If anybody tells you you can't plant the way you like to plant, well, I don't know why. We pretty much have stuff come up wherever we put it. I think that's credit to the deep mulch. And I'll bet these radishes grow just fine next to these onions. The radishes, after all. Radishes are one of the easiest things to grow. Okay, here's our special thing. I didn't think these were going to come up. Does anybody have any idea what that is? That's purslane. Some people say it's a weed, but it's got a lot of nutrition in it. And we're all about just growing food. And it's one of the easier things to grow, and it'll come back, reseed itself. And this is ready to go in the ground. Snug that in. I'm going to put 2 right here at the end of this row. Don't know why, but I'm gonna. I'm going to put 1 at the end of this other row. Over the radishes and the buckwheat, I am going to put just a light little bit of mulch on here. Those should pop right on up through there, no problem. Well, I want to thank you for stopping by and helping me get a few things in the ground. I think we're going to try to put something in the ground every day all month long. I had a request to do a tour of the garden and make it long. The garden's really not that big and we don't have that much stuff out here. But that's why I do these almost every day. That way you can watch the entire progression. Now you can do this too. If you want to learn more about the deep mulch, click that link and I'll meet you right back here in the garden. If you want to see what you can grow in the deep mulch, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.